Have you ever thanked God for the people who hurt you? It sounds strange, even uncomfortable, but what if those painful moments were actually divine setup for your spiritual growth? Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." Notice that it says in all things, not just the good, but also the painful, confusing, and frustrating things. Sometimes the actions of others, those that hurt, frustrate, or disappoint, can become tools God uses to teach us something deeper, like patience, forgiveness, self awareness, dependence on God's word. In Psalms 119, verse 71, it says, "It was good for me to be afflicted so that I might learn your decrees." Just like good, just like going to the gym causes soreness that builds strength, spiritual growth often comes through discomfort. Pain can push you to God's presence. When we're hurt, we often look for comfort. That moment of pain may be the very thing that sends us searching scriptures, crying out in prayer, or seeking wise counsels. In other words, pain can drive us closer to God. In James chapter 1, verse 2 through 4, it says, "Dear brothers and sisters, when trouble of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. When your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow." Pain reveals what's in our hearts and shapes us into who we're meant to become. So changing your perspective changes your power. What if we started saying things like, "I'm not broken, I'm becoming. This didn't crush me, it called me higher. That person may have hurt me, but they also helped me grow." Gratitude doesn't mean pretending something didn't hurt. It means recognizing what God did through the hurt. In Genesis chapter 50, verse 20, in the story of Joseph, it says, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Can you think of a time when someone hurt you, but it ended up growing you spiritually? How would your perspective change if you saw trials as teachers? Instead of viewing them as trials, you view them as teachers. Is there someone you need to forgive, not because they deserve it, but because their pain pushes you closer to your purpose? Start seeing your scars as stories. Start thanking God not just for the good times, but for the growth that came from the hard ones. Maybe, just maybe, you'll begin to say with full confidence, "Thank you for the pain. It changed me, and I wouldn't trade what I learned for anything."